Let's continue to bring value into this world by studying the Zohar. We continue today with the preliminaries of the Secrets of the Zohar HaKadosh, the Book of Splendor, written by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. The Zohar states that in the Torah, the people of Israel are referred to with the Hebrew term Ami. In Hebrew, Am means people, and Ami means my people. However, the Zohar explains that since the Torah has no vowels, this word should not only be read as Ami, my people, but also as Imi, with me. The meaning of this is profound. It signifies that humanity was created to be God's companion. A true friend is someone who always walks with you, who accompanies you everywhere. Thus, God created a people called Imi, those who are with Him, walking hand in hand as friends and partners. The Zohar further states, "Happy are those who dedicate themselves to the study of Kabbalah." Why? Because Kabbalah teaches how to be a friend of the Holy One, blessed be He. However, it is not enough to simply hold the title of being God's friend. One must also know how to act accordingly. Before the creation of the world was in a state of tohu vavohu, which is often translated as chaos. However, the Zohar explains that tohu represents a heaven of falsehood, whereas bohu represents a heaven of truth. There was, therefore, both falsehood and truth in existence. The question arises, how do we eliminate falsehood and remain only with the truth? The answer lies in the sanctuary. According to the Zohar, the sanctuary refers to the holiness of Shabbat. Observing Shabbat eliminates the tohu, the chaos, and the heaven of lies. The Zohar places great emphasis on Shabbat, even stating that one who does not observe it faces death. Not physical death, but spiritual death. Spiritual death means losing the status of Imi, no longer being God's companion. The observance of Shabbat is tied to two Hebrew words in the Torah, Shamor and Zakor. Shamor meaning guard and Zakor to remember. But why are both terms used? What is their deeper significance? Let's see what evil is and how evil can be turned around to achieve good. The example of evil and good can be found in an episode from the life of Joseph. To understand this, the Zohar gives an example from the life of Yosef HaSadik. Before being called Zadik, or righteous, Yosef, the son of Yaakov, or Jacob, arrived in Egypt as a slave after being sold by his brothers. There he faced temptation from his master's Potiphar's wife, who was captivated by Joseph's extraordinary beauty. The Talmud even states that women would ovulate at the mere sight of him. Potiphar's wife persistently attempted to seduce him and at one point even tore his tunic, leaving him exposed and on the verge of succumbing to the temptation. At that critical moment, something extraordinary happened. Joseph had a vision of his father's face. The sight of Yaakov's face and the teachings he had received from him gave Joseph the strength to resist temptation. Because of this, the Torah then refers to him as Yosef HaSadik, Joseph the righteous. And from that moment, divine protection guided him to eventually become the viceroy of Egypt, overseeing its grain stores during the time of famine. This story illustrates the significance of Shamor and Zakor. In Kabbalistic terms, Yaakov represents Shamor, which is guarding, while Yosef represents Zakor, which is remembering. When these two forces unite, evil cannot prevail. And now let's explore what Jacob means and what Joseph means, because it is clear that when they are together, evil cannot prevail naturally or in a coded manner. Yaakov symbolizes the wisdom of the sun, while Yosef represents the wisdom of the moon. When do the sun and the moon align? On the 15th of each month during the full moon. Interestingly, nearly all Jewish holidays, when divine energy is at its peak, occur on the full moon. Pesach, Purim, Tu B'Shvat, and Tu B'Av, among others. The Zohar also links Yaakov and Yosef to the names of God. Yaakov is associated with the Yud-He Vav-He, which is the Tetragrammaton, and Yosef is associated with Shaddai. When these two names are united, it mirrors Yosef's vision of his father's face, where the forces of holiness prevail and temptation is overcome. The sun and the moon, especially during the full moon when Jewish holidays take place, hold deep significance. The phrase Shamor ve'Zakor refers to guarding and remembering, Shabbat. When these two concepts are united, they form a combination of divine names that grant peace, spiritual and inner tranquility, which very few people attain. In Hebrew, this is called Nachat Ruach, inner serenity. The Zohar states, however, whoever does not observe Shabbat and does not remember it deserves death. Why? Because a person who is consistently stressing and anxious cannot be a true friend of God. Only through inner peace can one draw close to Hakadosh Baruch Hu. The Zohar gradually deciphers concepts that, until today, we have used without fully understanding their meaning. Shabbat is also referred to as my daughter. In Hebrew, daughter is bat, and within the word Shabbat, we find bat. What remains? The letter Shin, meaning the daughter of the Shin. This reveals another secret. The letter Shin is formed by three Hebrew letters, the Zayin, the Yud, and the Vav. When read together, they form Ziv, which means a flash of light, like the spark from a lighter or a match. On a deeper level, Ziv represents a sudden understanding, an awareness one did not have before. The Shin, with its three branches, the Ayin, the Yud, and the Vav, corresponds to Keter, Chokhmah, and Bina, the highest spiritual realms, known as the world of the soul. This flash of light, or Ziv, is a reflection of the Olam Haba, the world to come, which all Jews aspire to after this life. But what is the world to come, and what is Gehenna, hell? Many misunderstand these concepts. Children often think that Gehenna is a fiery place where souls are burned. But the deceased have no physical bodies to burn, so this interpretation is incorrect. Similarly, some imagine the Olam Haba as a beautiful paradise filled with angels, gardens, and a warm springtime sun. But this is also inaccurate. So what is paradise and what is hell? These concepts must be properly explained. I assure you that 99.99% of the people do not truly understand what paradise and hell are. Many rabbis speak endlessly about the Olam Haba, yet they fail to clarify what it actually is. Likewise, many threaten people with Gehenna without explaining its meaning. So, what is the true nature of paradise and hell? Some say it's about being close to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, or being distant from him. But there is more to it than that. Studying the secrets of Torah and engaging with these teachings is yeshivot, is considered a form of olam haba. That is one level of understanding. However, a deeper explanation exists. After this world, our souls enter a realm where the divine light is revealed. If a soul is not prepared to receive this divine light, the experience becomes unbearable. But for a soul that is prepared to receive this divine light, the joy is infinite. Both souls encounter the divine light. One can withstand it while the other cannot. To illustrate this, consider how the eye functions. If someone is in complete darkness and a bright, say for instance, a halogen light is suddenly turned on in front of them, they will be blinded and unable to see. The intense light will be painful and overwhelming. However, if someone is outside by the pool on a sunny day at 3 p.m., and they are already accustomed to the sunlight, a halogen light is turned on, it will not cause them harm. This metaphor explains what happens to the soul. Those who have meditated, studied Hebrew letters, and engaged with divine concepts throughout their lives are like people basking in the sun. They are accustomed to the light. When they transition to the spiritual realm, the divine visions will continue naturally without suffering. But those who have never engaged in spiritual practice, who have never meditated on God's names, and never engaged with divine concepts, will be overwhelmed when suddenly they are exposed to the divine reality. They will feel an unbearable fear as if trapped in a nightmare. This is Gehenna, or hell. In the end, both souls will encounter the divine light, but for one, it will be bliss, while for the other, it will be torment. This is the meaning of Siv, the flash of divine light. The best time to connect with this light is on Shabbat. There was once a school with a profound Kabbalist teacher. Throughout the week, students would ask him complex questions during the lessons. Some of these questions were extremely difficult, and the answers were very challenging to grasp. The master would tell his students, "Wait until Shabbat afternoon, and I will answer you." And why would the master do this? And that's because on Shabbat afternoon, the gates of the Olam Haba, the world to come, are open, allowing him to visualize the answer more clearly. This moment is known as Siv, the flash of divine light. Interestingly, those who observe Shabbat typically attend synagogue on Friday night and Saturday morning. Yet when the highest spiritual moment arrives, Saturday afternoon, most people are absent, opting instead to take a nap precisely when the gates of the world to come open. Having completed the commentary on Shabbat, the Zohar also moves through its teachings, shifts from one topic to another. Eventually, the Zohar is a collection of discussions among the students of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, whether amongst themselves, with their master, or with an outsider, a visiting rabbi. In one such exchange, two mystics, Rabbi Abba and Rabbi Eliezer, meet, and Rabbi Abba says to Rabbi Eliezer, "The letter Yud appeared to me." Notice this phrasing. He speaks as if the letter itself manifested before him and asked, "What can I do for you?" The Yud then tells him, "I will fill myself with countless treasures, hidden and lofty letters, and when I come to you and grant you two letters, Shin and Yud." What is the letter Yud? It represents meditation. When the Yud says it will fill him with abundance, it signifies that through meditation, one can attain blessings in this world. The Yud will arrive accompanied by the Shin, and together they will form the Hebrew word Yesh, which means there is. The absence of yesh results in crisis and lack, while its presence brings abundance, whether it be bread, health, or employment. The lesson is clear. If you want abundance, meditate. This is the teaching of Rabbi Abba and Rabbi Eleazar. Rabbi Abba, a mystic and the son of Rav Amnunah, whose name in Hebrew means peace, teaches how to live in peace and ensure that nothing is lacking. He advises preparing the soul for the divine light, as it will be needed after departing from this world. Just as the eye must adjust to the light to avoid being overwhelmed, the soul must acclimate to divine visions while still in this world. The way to achieve this is through meditation. Yud. The Yud appears and instructed, meditate, prepare yourself for the Olam Haba. Now a deeper concept emerges. Just as Jacob corresponds to the Sephirah of Tiferet and Joseph to the Sephirah of Yesod, where one represents the sun and the other represents the moon. Aaron represents the Sephirah of Hod, while Moses represents Netzach. The divine name associated with Netzach is Yud-He Vav-He Zevavot, meaning God, commander of the heavenly hosts. At the head of this celestial army stands the angel named Mikah-Bezechel, responsible for sustaining the first and second temples, those of King Solomon and Ezra. When this angel withdrew, the temples fell. Therefore, when seeking to connect with the temple, one must invoke Yud-He Vav-He Zevavot, as it is linked to this angelic presence. However, if one believes the temple is destroyed, they are mistaken. The physical stones may not be there, but the temple still exists in the spiritual realm. Even if one cannot see it with their eyes, the soul can connect with its energy at any moment. The belief in its absence makes it absent, while the awareness of its existence makes it real. This is the essence of quantum mechanics. Things exist based on perception. Many unseen things occur in this world of the just. For instance, when two righteous scholars such as Rabbi Abba and Rabbi Eleazar, students of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, travel and discuss Kabbalistic secrets, something invisible to the eye takes place. Righteous souls from the Olam Haba descend and inhabit these scholars, inspiring them with insights into the Torah that they would not have comprehended otherwise. This gives you a type of intelligence that you could not have acquired on your own. It is fascinating to see how Kabbalists walking together and discussing Kabbalistic themes can bring down wisdom from another world into this one. They integrate it into their minds, and it inspires them in ways that are beyond ordinary human perception. In the Zohar HaKadosh, there are many stories of two Kabbalists traveling from one village to another, consistently saying, "Let us speak of the secrets of the Torah." They repeat it over and over. Why do they do this? Because through this process, they draw down souls from another world, souls with knowledge beyond what we possess in this world, who reveal secrets that they otherwise could not have assessed. But why does this happen while they are traveling? Why not while sitting in one place? That is a good question. The reason is that nothing happens in the higher world unless it first happens in the lower world. In other words, we must activate something in the lower world for it to occur in the upper world. Just as the righteous must make a journey from above to below, we must make a journey from one village to another so that they can make the journey from heaven to earth. It is essential to be in one open air and not enclosed within walls, since we are provoking a journey of souls from the Olam Haba. which is the world to come. And it comes from the Olam Haba into this world. Olam Hazeh, which is this world. The way to initiate that journey is by making a journey ourselves. Now, why does this not happen when we are locked inside? Because there is no movement. If there is no movement below, there is no movement above. Can't one induce a journey of the soul through meditation alone? Why do we even have a body? The body exists so that the movement can take place. Why must movement happen? Because movement in the lower world generates movement in the upper world. Otherwise, we would be static souls without a physical form. The body is what allows us to pull the rope so the bell can ring. The body is defined by time, space, and movement. I want to introduce another concept. Every person has the 72 names of God engraved within their soul. At the moment of death, these 72 names separate from the soul that inhabited the body. The Zohar teaches us if one wishes to resurrect the dead, they must bring these 72 names back into the body, as they are the source of life. If they have departed, they must be restored. Elijah the prophet resurrected Habakkuk. The numerical value, the gematria of Habakkuk, is 216, which corresponds to 3 times 72. Since each of the 72 names of God consists of 3 letters, 3 times 72 equals 216. This is the key. What Elijah did was restore the 216 letters that made up these 72 names of God. And one might ask, how can we bring back these 72 names so that a person may be resurrected? Since they are within us, we must transmit them to 3 key chakras: the mouth, the heart, and the reproductive organs. However, I advise you not to attempt this. We are not at the level of Elijah.